Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Strong Foundations. If you've been tuning in to these videos, I just want to preface this whole thing by saying thank you. I really appreciate you for checking these out. Even if you don't necessarily enjoy them yet, I appreciate you at least giving me a shot. This channel is a work in progress, but I am really grateful for all the people in my life who support me and who want to see me win. So thank you for checking this out, guys. But today's video is going to be about how to focus and mainly how to cut out distractions from your life. So, guys, if you want to make significant progress in your life, you need to learn how to cut out distractions because if you're not avoiding these distractions or at least keeping them down to a minimum, even if you're making progress, you're not making it as fast as you could be. So you need to learn how to cut this stuff out, or at least intake it in amounts that are healthy, that do not take away from your life. So, our day now is full of constant distractions, whether it be social media, entertainment platforms like YouTube or Netflix. It can be music. You see those people who have a headphone in their ear constantly, distracting them from whatever's going on outside of their head. It can be drugs, especially weed is something that, it's accepted now, but me personally, I think that if you really want to be successful in life, you're not going to waste your time smoking weed. To each their own, but that's just my stance on it. And I have had a lot of experience with drugs, guys. So, if you're going to take it from anyone, take my advice. Weed is not worth your time, but in my eyes, it is a huge distraction. A big one for guys is porn. We'll talk about this later, but you should not be watching porn at all. But if it does happen, so you just need to learn how to limit this as much as you possibly can. And the two other things that I wrote down are women and friends. So with women, not wasting time chasing women who don't give a about you, or downloading dating apps, wasting your time, and not going out with friends who really have no ambitions in life, who are not doing anything with their life, who bring you down to their level. The friends who invite you out every single Friday to go drink and be a degenerate, you need to learn how to cut those people out of your life. So a lot of people, they will say that they don't have time to do things that matter. They don't have time to exercise or go to the gym. They don't have time to read, or I've even heard they don't have enough time to get 8 hours of sleep. And this is complete BS. If anyone tells you this, they are making excuses because they do not care enough to actually start doing things that matter. They would rather, and some people are genuinely busy, but you can still make time for things, guys. Like, just because you work a 40-hour week every week doesn't mean you don't have time to do stuff on top of that job. So people who say that, they're making excuses. It is what it is. If you want more time to do things that are going to be beneficial to your life, you got to learn to limit or completely cut out distractions. So one thing I like to think about that I wanted to mention is thinking about how much time you're wasting on the scale of a lifetime with these distractions. So what I mean by this is, say you have a screen time that is an average of 5 to 6 hours a day. If you multiply that number by the days that are in 70 years, like say you live to 70 and you have a screen time of 5 hours every day, that is literal years that you are just sitting on your phone, probably not even doing anything that's beneficial. most likely scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, and that's not good. That should scare you, honestly. I know it scares me to think about how much time we could possibly be wasting on these devices, but that's one thing that I think about to motivate myself to start cutting these distractions out of my life. So, some solutions that I wrote down that we're going to talk about. Um, Try to completely cut out social media, if not limit it to as little time as you possibly can. If you don't want to completely delete your account, take a break, and I'd say make it as long as you can. And this is because, so I'm going to get into dopamine a little bit later, but it screws up your dopamine system, and it takes up way too much of your time. From my personal experience, a little over a year ago, I took about a year-long break from social media. I just recently downloaded it again this January, but before that year break, I noticed myself getting home and scrolling on Instagram for 2 hours and mindlessly scrolling too, like losing 2 hours without even realizing that it had been 30 minutes, not even remembering what I had just watched. So that's not good. That's a sign that there's something wrong, and it's more common than you'd think. Like, a lot of people are addicted to these social media apps. So if you can, cut it out completely. If not, take a break for as long as you can. That break is going to help you so that when you re-download it, you're going to be more sensitive to it, and you're going to feel bad spending large amounts of time on there. So take a break, delete it, whatever you got to do. The next thing is going to be limiting your entertainment consumption. So what I mean by this is just setting limits on how much time you're going to allow yourself to watch YouTube or turn on Netflix after work. I'd say what works for me is I live a very, very busy life, but I do 1 hour of YouTube a day and one movie per week. That's what works for me. I'd say based on your schedule and how much free time you have, just create something that allows you time to get the important stuff done, and then you can backfill it in with entertainment. But even then, make sure you're not wasting too much time. There's always something better you can be doing than watching Netflix. So make sure you're setting limits on that. And the next thing is dating apps and chasing women. So obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably a dude, because I know most of you too. But yeah, so I have struggled with this. I kind of still do struggle with this, and that is wasting time chasing women, especially through the use of dating apps. So we talked about porn a little earlier as being a distraction. First of all, before I even get into this stuff, you should not be watching porn, bro. Like, point blank, period. You should not be watching porn. It is not healthy. It is sucking your energy away. You're literally giving your energy to the toilet seat or to that freaking tissue or sock, bro. Like, it is not good for you. We do not have like solid results on the effects of porn on your dopamine system over a long period of time, but we don't need those results to know that it is definitely unhealthy for you. It's sucking you of your motivation, of your energy, and wasting time too. So first of all, go on NoFap, do semen retention. Like, you will thank me. The people who don't do this are the ones who have never really given it a shot or don't care enough to have self-control. I'd say give it a shot, but once you get on semen retention, you're going to realize your energy goes up, your motivation goes up, but what comes along with that is your sexual desire is going to skyrocket as well with those things. And what happens to me personally is, after day 30 or 40 on a no-fap streak, bro, I am so horny. It's like not even funny. Like that's all that seems to be on your mind sometimes. And you're never gonna kill off that desire for women, but you gotta learn how to take that energy and channel it into your work. So, um, just transmute that energy into something that matters, man. But uh, wasting it on chasing women and uh, especially having those dating apps is not good. So dating apps are really bad. Like I said, once I get to that 30 or 40 street, I get so horny, I will download Tinder again. And every single time, and I mean every single time, within 3 or 4 days, it's deleted again because I'm just reminded by having it again of how much of a waste of time and energy it is. Like, you know, it's literally made to get you addicted, to take up your time, take up your money, because most of those things they want you to pay for a subscription. Dude, it's not worth it at all. And, even if you're, a mildly attractive guy and you can get some matches, like only a small percentage of those matches are going to meet up with you. And the ones who do meet up with you, there's usually something off, or there's some kind of thing that they didn't tell you on their profile. Like maybe they don't look like their pictures. Maybe there's some kind of personality trait that makes it so that guys don't want to be around her, or she's just a straight 304. All right. So just stay off the dating apps. We all cave in every now and then, but I'd say just stop chasing women in general, because at least if you're a guy that's my age, it's like, what do you really have to offer a woman right now? Like, for me personally, I'm not focused on any of that stuff because I'm trying to build myself up so that in the future I have something to actually offer women, like life experience, like especially money and, financial support for them. Um, just good personality traits and confidence and something that you can actually give to a woman. Like, you probably don't have that right now. Like, even if you convince a girl to have sex with you, like, you most definitely don't have the money to support her. You don't have the leadership skills to lead that relationship. And, at the end of the day, it just is a waste of time if you don't have something to actually contribute. So instead of focusing on how do I get girls, focus on like, what can I do so that in the future girls will be lucky to have me. So that's kind of my stance on that. I'm not saying that relationships at our age are inherently bad, because they're not. It's just I just don't think that you should be actively seeking it out. Instead, just focus on yourself, focus on your work, building yourself up, and it's going to come naturally while you're doing that. So, yeah, just chill with the dating apps and the chasing women. I screw up with that stuff every now and then, I'm not going to lie, but, just realize that it's a distraction and that you can do better. So, and then lastly, for a solution, you got to learn how to cut people out of your life who are wasting your time, or at the very least, say no to them when they ask you to do degenerate activities. So if you have that group of friends that invites you out every single Friday to go get shit-faced and flirt with women, like, that's not actually furthering your purpose in life at all, unless it's to be a degenerate. And the thing with these type of people is, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but some people just do not have the ambition that others do. Some people are lazy and they don't want to put in work, not because they don't want to be something, but because they don't care enough to give up the comforts of their current life. They would rather go home and watch 4 hours of Netflix, and, be okay with their 35K a year job just if it means that they don't have to learn anything else, or or that they don't have to grow. And like I said, I mean no disrespect to people who are like this. Usually they're good people, but if you have ambitions for your life, you cannot be associating with people like this, man. Like, they always say you are the sum of the closest 5 people around you. If, the 5 people around you are going out to drink every weekend, what does that say about you? Like, you can't have those ambitions and think you're going to be great if those are the kind of people that you surround yourself with. So cut them off, or at least learn how to say no to them, so that you can really start focusing on your purpose and making progress on your goals. So one thing that I'd really recommend if you want to start trying this stuff out is a dopamine detox. So a little over a year ago, I started a dopamine detox. And basically what it is so all of these distractions that I listed, they all release dopamine, and usually in very unhealthy amounts that like overflow your system and make it so that you're desensitized to dopamine. So basically what that does is, once you're desensitized, things that are good for you but that don't necessarily release insane amounts of dopamine, they become less fulfilling. It becomes harder to sit down and focus on those tasks because your brain wants the next blast of dopamine. So like when you're scrolling on Tinder or Instagram, your brain is releasing dopamine like crazy with every with every picture, with every match or whatever. Your brain is flooding with dopamine. And over time, this is not good. Dopamine is related to your motivation to accomplish things and your sense of fulfillment. So if you're using it all by doing nothing, by wasting your time with media or entertainment, then you're not going to have enough to motivate you to do the things that you need to do. So a dopamine detox, basically what I did for mine was I did all my normal stuff that I talked about in the habits video, on top of cutting out these sources of dopamine that I'm going to talk about. But I'd say a good baseline for you to design your own, if you want to try this out, is make sure you're meditating every day, make sure you're exercising every day, and make sure you're drinking enough water, because you're going to be cutting out soda. It's just, you want to keep your body hydrated, you want to have energy. But these things are going to be really good for you. They're going to help flush your system. They're going to help bring you back to baseline. But for the don't do's, basically what it's going to be is no Instagram or any social media, no music, and practicing an instrument is one thing, but just don't be listening to headphones all the time, or listening to music on your drives. That's what I mean. No TV or Netflix or movies, any of that stuff. Limit your junk food as much as you can. It's going to be hard for some people. I know it's hard for me, but you got to do your best in eating a clean diet. It doesn't have to be perfect, but stuff that has a ton of preservatives and tons of sugar, that's not going to be good for you during this. And if you want to get the full effects of the dopamine detox, you got to cut this out as much as you can. And then obviously no porn. As I said, dude, I'm looking at you. You shouldn't be watching porn anyways, but definitely cut it out for the dopamine detox. And then no drugs or alcohol. And you can choose a time frame for how long you want to do this stuff. I'd say if it's going to be your first time, start out with 2 weeks, maybe a month, because it's going to be hard. But if you get good at it, if you start adopting some of the good habits and cutting out some of the bad habits, then you can up the time to 3 months or 6 months or however long you want. So this is going to help get your brain back to baseline level, to where you're going to feel fulfilled doing things like reading a book or sitting down and being quiet to meditate. Like, that's going to feel good again, instead of you feeling like, you're trying to study and you have the urge every 3 minutes to check your phone for messages or to open Instagram and see if anyone posted or DM'd you. Like, you're not going to have that urge, and it's going to get rid of the habit of you constantly distracting yourself too. So your baseline for dopamine and your baseline for time are going to be reset, and this is like, it's going to feel like a superpower once it kicks in, because you're going to feel like you have like way too much time and way too much energy, and it's going to open your life up to be able to do things that are actually going to bring value. So yeah, guys, kind of a long video this time. Again, I just want to say thank you if you are watching these. Like, it honestly means so much to me. As I said, the quality isn't the best in this at the start of this channel, but it's gonna get better, I promise. And yeah, man, it's a work in progress. As with everything, it's gonna come with time, and I'm just so grateful for all you guys who support me, who want to see me do great things. And that's part of the reason I have this channel, is because I want to bring as many people up with me as I possibly can. It wouldn't be worth it otherwise. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. I really hope you're getting something out of these videos. But yeah, I'll see you next week. I may be posting on Tuesday as well. Oh, and go check out this brand. It's called Iron Grind Athletics. They make really cool like streetwear and lifting gear. I'm an ambassador for them, so I have a discount code that I will put in the description of this video. But go check it out. Guys, the fit is amazing on these shirts. I love the designs, so go check it out. I think my code gets you like 15% off. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'll see you next week, and thanks for tuning in.